Good morning. Hey, third time's a charm, isn't it? This is the
Yes,
third
I think.
time we've come to you with the card of the day. We're running out of time. We got here a little early, and now we're like, it's almost time. But we've got the card. This was the card. I actually did film it when we pulled it, but then I ran out of storage on my phone because I'm terrible with storage on my phone. He's got loads, so we're on his now. Anyway, the labyrinth. Let me get this because I'm excited to share this with you. I don't need to. Don't mess around now. I don't need to.
Don't mess around.
I don't need to talk too much because this is like nectar.
All right, let's get to the nectar.
Get to the nectar.
That's good nectar.
Good nectar. Radiant Threshold. Centa Schumacher. Got this deck because of that card and because of a relationship with a beautiful woman called Genevieve Hastings at Art Arc in San Jose. Mwah. I love you so much, Genevieve. Here we go. The labyrinth. A twisted path spirals through time and space. The guidelines appear distinct in some places, and in others they are murky and bleed together. At its center, the completion, there is a six-petaled rose, a place of respite for the wanderer. However, at this place of stillness, there is no more path to follow. The searcher must eventually rise and head out again into the labyrinth to follow the path back into the world. I myself have just had about 18 months of labyrinth adventures that I'm about to share with you. So I've been doing this on the beach. This path of the labyrinth is just an amazing metaphor and teacher for life. It really is, and for getting through the challenges. The form of the labyrinth is an ancient symbol found in many places in the world, and one enters the labyrinth willingly, moving towards enlightenment promised at the center. But when one reaches the center, what next? You have to make your way back out again. Life is a series of double spirals, swirling in and swirling out again. Once one thing is completed, that energy must be put to use somewhere else. We see this idea echoed throughout these cards and throughout life. Things peak and then they fade. They're born and then they die, only to be born once again and to be reborn. The moon waxes and wanes. But what of the journey between these points? The path is not always linear and straight. We can veer too close to completion only to be thrown out to the edges once more. Sometimes the path ahead is clear. Sometimes it bends away from our view. What keeps us walking? What makes us turn around and start once again when we get to the center? Making peace with the present and not knowing the end of the path is key at this moment. The labyrinth, unlike a maze, is intended to guide you along the path, not get you lost. A labyrinth is a tool of contemplation, a trail set in front of you to use as an instrument for introspection in a walking meditation. This card may be a suggestion to take up a contemplative practice, and if you already have one, consider strengthening your current practice. If you don't, do some exploring, see what you feel drawn to. It doesn't have to be a prayer, meditation, or yoga. Many people find simply walking in nature or free writing in a journal help clear their thoughts and become present. Get to know yourself, babe. Like, what would it take for you to just feel here and now and not all over all the other things that are going on in life? If you're able to find one near you, take some time to discover and walk a labyrinth. They can be found in churches, parks, and other public places. There are more than 5,400 labyrinths in over 80 countries in the world. Did you know this? I know this. So you can go to worldwidelabyrinthlocator.com, right? And you can pop in your zip code, your postal code, and you can find labyrinths near you. If you're like us and live in Orange County and have that very great fortune of doing so, there are 80 labyrinths within 50-mile radius of us. Samaj and I have dragged him, maybe, to various towns saying, hey, we're going here. Why? Because there's a labyrinth there. And off we went. And we've had these little weekly adventures to new labyrinths. So go and do that. I'll share more with you about labyrinths once again. It is a most magical practice. And yes, perhaps you want to get to the center, but it is all about the journey. And there are so many wonderful lessons. We'll be sharing more with you. We'd love to hear your thoughts below. I'll get back to you at the weekend. I love you. Got to go to work now.